Second half.
25 points from Jermaine Couisnard. 32 points, I believe, is the latest count on Damian Jefferson.
I have 35.
Yep, now that I count them again.
1:38 remaining. Devontae Jones has certainly added some bulk and some speedness to this East Chicago lineup. He now goes over to DJ. He beats the triple team with the dribble. Tried to go with a little no-look pass over to Charlie Cleveland, and they turned it over.
Coach Swan going with some offense and defensive substitutions now as Blake Bonin and Grant Galen come back in the ball game for Zach Stewart.
This right now is a 3-possession ball game. You really don't even need to go for the tray right now.
Crown Point with 1 timeout remaining.
Keep in mind that Couisnard's playing with 4 fouls right now on Tomic. 1:23 remaining. Sasha down low, deflected by Charlie. Keneally's able to save it back to Stefanovic, who drives all the way in, banked it up high and scored.
Well, he was going right at Couisnard, couldn't afford to foul. With those 4 fouls, Crown Point takes their last timeout.
We got ourselves a 2-possession game now after the turnover with a $1:11 remaining. Financial support for this Cardinals basketball broadcast is provided in part by the Foundations of East Chicago. We are dedicated to helping our community through our grant programs, academic scholarships, and overall leadership initiatives. We have dedicated ourselves to uplifting, inspiring, and empowering all the residents of East Chicago. Moving together and toward a brighter future, the Foundations of East Chicago are in and on your corner. For more information, visit our website, www.foundations-e-c.org. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Foundations-e-c. For East Chicago here, Chris, you don't have to shoot the basketball. Make them come to you, draw the fouls, and get to the line.
Well, they've done a nice job this quarter on several possessions, spreading Crown Point out on defense, and Crown Point just don't quite have the athletes defensively to stop East Chicago one-on-one. It's opened up some driving lanes to the basket and some easy dishes for layups.
So Devontae Jones will be the catalyst here in the backcourt. And the official right now making sure that there's no pulling of the laundry out there in the backcourt for the Cardinals. They get it into Couisnard. Jermaine back out. Almost stolen on the play by Zdanowicz's Tomic. And the ball will go to Crown Point. Another turnover.
Great hustle by Leo Zdanowicz. He laid out on the floor to get that reversal pass in the press.
So hold the presses here. 65 ticks of the clock remaining. 77-71 Cardinals. And Crown Point with the basketball. They go to Grant. Back over to Blake Bonin. Drives off the right side, knifes in. Back over now to Tomic, outside to Galen. Tomic now, East Chicago playing some good defense. Dominic's 3 is no good. Keneally the rebound, he scored and he was fouled!
Not much contact on that putback by Keneally as East Chicago players look at the official in amazement. Big putback by Andrew Keneally.
Stewart trying to come in. The foul was on Devontae Jones, his 4th. So right now it could be a 1-possession game with 48 seconds remaining. No quit in this Crown Point team. So Keneally trying to make it 77-74, and he does not. The ball tipped and controlled by Sasha. And then he ran out of real estate and turned it over.
So Zdanowicz got a hand on that shot that time on the carom. Sasha lost it along the baseline, but Crown Point able to set up their press here.
They get it into DJ, and he gets fouled right off the get-go. So good job by Crown Point not allowing a lot of time to go off the clock. Now Clint's going to do the defense-offensive substitution here.
Damian Jefferson. 35 points here on the afternoon. Typically a 77% free throw shooter.
Zdanowicz and Stewart exit. Galen back in there for his 3-point shooting prowess. 77-73 Cardinals. 45 seconds remaining in the ball game. Jefferson with 10 in the quarter, 35 in the game. Just like shooting stuffed animals at the carnival.
Yeah, that's what 4-year seniors are supposed to do, and you've been at this level for 4 years, as Damian Jefferson has.
The future Lobo from the University of Mexico with one more, trying to make it a 2-possession game at 79-73. Couldn't get it to go. The rebound to the Dogs. Tomic now with some energy over the midcourt stripe. Back outside to Bonin for the three. That was in and out, no good, and then a reach over going to be called here on Crown Point. Boy, I tell you what, Blake had that one down the well, Chris, and it came out.
Oh, he's got that quick release at times and certainly utilized it that time. And Damian Jefferson high above the rebound for that rim. He was fouled by Grant Galon, who picks up his 5th foul.
Grant will foul the game with 10 points. 33.4 seconds remaining. And DJ will again go back to the line.
Coach Swan using his full 20 seconds to put his sub in, and he's allowed to do that. I think there's some question is when the ref started the ticker on that 20 seconds. Well, Crown Point's out of timeouts.
Can't feed fun at the old ballpark, Chris.
It's been chippy here from the crowds tonight.
So DJ to the line as we'll focus back on the student athletes. And he missed the front end.
Well, again, just getting back to officiating, it's one thing to have a discussion with the coach, but if all you're going to say is, do you want to go home, or watch the film, that's not a discussion. That's provocative. It's provoking an argument with there's no good ending to that particular type of discussion.
So DJ with one more, trying to make it a 79-73 game, and he does. 33 and a half remaining as Stewart will come out for Bonin. There's a timeout in the court here with 33.5 seconds remaining. And East Chicago Central up 79-73. Got all kinds of girls' championship action going on tonight, Chris. In 4A, we'll have Crown Point against Maryville. Maryville a little bit short-handed as one of their star athletes was injured earlier in the sectional. In the Class A action, we've got Morgan Township against Marquette Catholic. In 2A, the Oregon Davis Bobcats continue to roll over at Hebron. They'll be taking on the Hawks, the host Hawks in that ball game. And in 3A, Gary Lighthouse
CPA will play Clark over at Calumet. You got Hanover Central against Andrean in the 3A sectional 18 at Wheeler. So a lot of action. Of course, you got Oregon Davis in action. They're number 1 in 2A. They play at Hebron, and they'll play the Hawks. Yeah, on paper, we got one of the best matchups in terms of ranked opponents.
Yeah.
Number 9, Morgan Township, and number 3, Marquette Catholic. It'll be interesting to see if Morgan can give them a ball game tonight, as Marquette Catholic's a pretty talented group. You got 2 ranked teams in single A at Culver. Number 6, Argos, will take on number 7, South Central Satellites.
Yeah, that's a good matchup there. Riley Popplewell, one of the top players in the state in that particular classification, and we could end up seeing the Satellites over at Caston. So here we go, 33.5 seconds remaining. It's a 2-possession game right now, so certainly Crown Point with their 3-point shooting prowess not out of this one yet. Both teams are over the limit as far as the bonus. So Tomic now will bring it up as Kuznard continues to play with 4 fouls. Dominic out to Sasha. Got a half a step on Cleveland. Nobody picked him up. Weak side rebound controlled by Wilson. East Chicago got a break on that one because Sasha got a wide open look. Second personal on S squared. And DJ will go back to the line, and he will try to what could be the last two daggers here on the Bulldogs balloon.
Well, Chicago's done a nice job getting the ball in DJ and Jermaine Kuznar's hands this fourth quarter. Those are the two guys you want going to the free throw line late in ball games.
Boy, DJ is just smooth with that free throw. He's got 38 now. And just a great rotation on the basketball and a nice feel for the ball in those big hands. And he missed the second one. Keneally gets the rebound. 80-73. Tomic will fire the three-pointer, no good. Keneally trying to get the offensive rebound. Stubbs down low to Cleveland, and he's going to bring it back out.
Move by Charlie Cleveland there. Didn't need any more points.
And the sands of the hourglass are going to run out here on the Crown Point Bulldogs as the Crown Point Bulldogs and East Chicago Central Cardinals come into midcourt form as the Cardinals, with a very impressive come-from-behind win out here this evening after trailing at half by 11, win the ball game by 7, 80-73. So East Chicago Central picks up win number 13 on the season against 7 defeats, and the Crown Point Bulldogs have their 5-game winning streak snapped as they fall on the season now to 11-7. We'll take a 2-minute timeout and we'll come back. We're having a brief post-game show for you here today, and we'll come back to wrap it up as East Chicago beats Crown Point tonight 80-73 on RRSN.com and the Regional Radio Sports Network. Thank you.
At Horizon Bank, we're more than just your hometown bank. We're your neighbor. Whether you're ready to get a loan for your next family vacation, that new car you've had your eye on, a much-needed renovation, your dream home, or your business. Trust the local lenders at Horizon Bank for the loan you need. Local people making local decisions. Visit HorizonBank.com. Horizon Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Looking to start a new career at a cutting-edge, exciting, and globally competitive company? Enroll in Steelworker for the Future, a 2.5-year associate degree program offered at select community colleges, and you'll be prepared for a high-paying career at ArcelorMittal, the world's leading steel company. Graduates may be hired as maintenance technicians, earning an average of $90,000 per year, plus benefits. Your future with the leader in steel starts now. Visit steelworkerforthefuture.com today. Score big with the low-rate TCU Visa Platinum credit card that can help you take charge of those long-awaited projects or cover unexpected emergency needs. It not only comes with a low rate, but offers everything you need, including no annual fees, no balance transfer fees, easy cash advances at ATMs, and much more. Don't miss out on a good play. Take charge of those projects and score big with the low-rate TCU Visa Platinum credit card. Learn more and apply today at tcunet.com/credit cards.
Mike Knezovich, Chris Adzia back with you here with our post-game report. It's brought to you by the Foundations of East Chicago. They're on the web at foundations-e-c.org. We want to thank them for supporting the student-athletes all across Northwest Indiana, as well as the victorious East Chicago Central Cardinals, as they move now to 13-4 on the season with this very impressive come-from-behind win over the Crown Point Bulldogs. It was 28-18. Crown Point led it by 10 at the end of the first quarter. Crown Point outscored East Chicago 13-12 in the second stanza. East Chicago with a 21-10 cushion in the third quarter, changing the momentum of the basketball game, and then finishing it out with a nice quarter in the fourth quarter as well to win the ball game by a score of 80-73, Chris, and certainly a feather to stick into the regular season cap for the Cardinals.
Well, we talk about this ball club all the time and how they can turn it on and turn it off like we haven't seen from any other ball club. And typically you have me talking about it's hard to win with two scorers, but when those two scorers are Jermaine Couisnard and Damian Jefferson, sometimes you don't need a third scorer tonight. East Chicago only put 4 people in the scoring column. They got contribution from Elion Stubbs and Devontae Jones with 4 and 5 points respectively. But when you get 25 and 38 from your two stars, you're tough to beat.
Let's take a look at our final scoring summary brought to us by attorney Lonnie Randolph. Chris.
Well, for the Chicago Central Cardinals, Elion Stubbs had 4 points tonight. Devontae Jones in the starting lineup had 5. Jermaine Couisnard had 25 points and 3 rebounds. He only had 2 points at the half. And Damian Jefferson lit up the scoreboard throughout, 38 points and 10 rebounds to lead East Chicago with both of those, or in both of those statistical categories. East Chicago, after shooting only 36% from the field in the first half, shot 63% in the second half for a total of 49% for the game on 31 of 63 shooting. They were 11 of 20 from the charity stripe for 55%. And 7 of 25 for 28% from the three-point range. Crown Point spread it out just a little bit more. They had 7 players in the scoring column, 3 of them in double digits. They were led in scoring by Sasha Stefanovic. He had 20 points and 7 rebounds to lead Crown Point in both categories. 12 points apiece from Blake Bonin and Dominic Tomic. Tomic ended the game with 5 assists. Blake Bonin had 4. 9 points from Grant Galen before fouling out. Check that. Sacaleros was also in double digits. John Sacaleros had 13 points. Then you got Grant Galen's 9, 5 points from Andrew Keneally, and 2 points from Tommy Sanborn. Crown Point did not shoot the ball poorly as a team. They shot 47.2%. They were 25 of 53 against good defensive pressure during that second half. 9 of 28 from behind the stripe for 32.1%, and 14 of 19 for 73.7% from the free throw line. East Chicago did come back to win the battle of the boards, 36-33. 36 of those rebounds, or out of those 36 rebounds, 13 of them were on the offensive end, and Crown Point turned the ball over 11 times to East Chicago's 6.
30 points in the first half, 50 in the second half.
Well, we talked about East Chicago being able to put points on the board before the broadcast at 67 points per ball game, and I thought Crown Point did a pretty good job defensively in that first half. I don't know if there's anything they could have done differently in the second half because it was just a show from Jermaine Couisnard and Damian Jefferson. Great individual efforts tonight by those two.
There were some shots that Jermaine in that quarter was just on fire. He was feeling it, and I thought it was a great move by Coach Turkovich to take him out and avoid getting that fourth foul.
Yeah, I think there was a minute 31 left. He certainly didn't want to come off, but certainly it's not about a particular individual. It's about the team. That was a great move. The 13 third-quarter points by Jermaine Couisnard was really the difference in this ballgame.
So looking ahead now, the Crown Point Bulldogs will host the Andrean 59ers, whose program right now is undergoing a transition. That will be on Tuesday night, and then they go to Valparaiso in a game we'll have on WTMK 88.5 Shine.fm. So not a lot of time to wallow in defeat here for Crown Point.
There's not going to be a lot of preparation for Andrean per se, because the important game next week is that Valparaiso game for Crown Point. Is Valparaiso and Crown Point still only with one loss in the Duneland Athletic Conference?
Meanwhile, looking at East Chicago Central, our next broadcast is going to be next Tuesday night right here on RRSN.com and Regional Radio Sports as Dave Milosnick's Lake Central Indians come a-calling. And I know, Chris, you've had an opportunity, of course, to play for some great coaches, Jerry Little, and also coach with great coaches like Jack Gaber. I don't know what their philosophy was during regular season games when you're going to be meeting the team again, in the sectional. I say, hey, roll the basketball out and do what you do. And
let's go. I think you play every game to win. You're never going to say, okay, this is not an important game. You prepare as if it's a sectional championship every time out. There's no doubt. But there's certainly something to be said for the psychological edge. And if you could win a game, and that's probably been the philosophy for most of the coaches that I've played for and coached with is let's beat them in the regular season to set the stage and put a little doubt in their mind that they can beat us in the sectional.
Great job, Chris Adzi, as usual. Great job as well with Ryan Knezovich for doing a great job on the cameras out here this evening, and what was a tremendous atmosphere and a great ball game out here in a matinee on a Saturday afternoon. Keep in mind that our coverage will continue later on this evening. We've got a doubleheader for you on Regional Radio Sports on WTMK 88.5, Shine.fm, and RRSN.com right here. We'll have the matchup between Morgan Township and Marquette Catholic on the girls' side as they go for sectional 49 championship supremacy. Dave Miller and Steve Dahl, they'll be over at Viking Gymnasium for the Class 4A championship as the Maryville Pirates take on the Crown Point Bulldogs. We want to thank our season sponsors of our award-winning and positive promotion and coverage of student-athletes on Regional Radio Sports, and they include State Farm Insurance, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. ArcelorMittal, guiding the evolution of steel, creating opportunities in the industry to redefine excellence and transform tomorrow. Scable Buick GMC, located at 3209 West Lincoln Highway on Route 30 in Maryville. Centier Bank, independently owned and operated, serving 44 locations in Lake Porter and LaPorte counties. And Chris, let's go ahead and name our Centier Bank performers of the ball game. So first of all, for the East Chicago Central Cardinals, Jermaine Couisnard will get the nod with 25 points in the ball game, as Jermaine will get that particular nod. You agree with me on that one, Chris?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry about that. I forgot that we hadn't named him. And for the Crown Point Bulldogs, Sasha had a great ball game. I mean, you got
you had 4 players in double digits. Sasha Stefanovic led the team in points and rebounds, handled the ball quite a bit as well with Blake Bonin on the bench, and guarded Damian Jefferson a few possessions as well, so I would vote for Sasha.
So our Centier Bank performers of the game are Jermaine Couisnard for East Chicago Central and Sasha Stefanovic for the Crown Point Bulldogs. The United States Marine Corps, the few, the proud, the Marines. If you think you have what it takes, call 1-800-MARINES or log on to marines.com. Albert's Diamond Jewelers of Cherville, Indiana, in business for over 100 years and simply have the largest selection of brilliant diamonds in the Midwest. Teachers Credit Union, providing many products and services that can help keep your finances on track. Visit them online at tcunet.com. Also by Levin Tire with 7 convenient Northwest Indiana locations, earning your trust one day at a time since 1918. Schwartz Redson & Company, PC and accounting firm, located on East 86th Avenue in Maryville. Horizon Bank, exceptional service and sensible advice. Christensen Chevrolet on 45th and Indianapolis Boulevard in Highland. Tech Federal Credit Union for a great rate and convenient terms on a vehicle, home, personal, and business loan. We also want to thank our corporate partner of East Chicago Central Cardinals basketball. That's the Foundations of East Chicago at foundations-e-c.org. Fight Funeral Home on Indianapolis Boulevard in East Chicago, family-owned and operated since 1898. Attorney Lonnie Randolph on Columbus Drive in East Chicago. Calumet College of St. Joseph's on the web at ccsj.edu. Automasters, an ASC certified repair shop on Calumet Avenue in Hammond, and also Sports Medicine Institute. They're on the web at StAnthonySMI.com. Thanks to Trino Cavazos, the athletic director here, for his hospitality. Thanks to the 2 head coaches, Clint Swan for Crown Point, Trino Cavazos, Pete Turkovich for East Chicago Central for pregame interview accessibility and statistics prior to the ball game. So for Chris Adzi and Ryan Knezovich, this is Mike Knezovich saying so long from the John A. Barato Center on the campus of East Chicago Central, where the Cardinals had 50 second-half points and overcome an 11-point halftime deficit as they vanquished the Crown Point Bulldogs by a score of 80-73. God bless America. God bless you all. Have a safe and wonderful afternoon, everybody. So long from the Barato Center.